While the English grammar follows a subject-verb-object structure, the Japanese grammar follows subject-object-verb structure of sentences. In today's lesson, we will see how objects are attached to the verbs using the O particle. Konnichiwa minasan. Hey friends, how are you? Welcome to Saral Japani YouTube channel. This is a place where we talk about Japan, the Japanese language and Japanese culture. Today is lesson 71 of the series Japanese for Beginners, and the topic for today is the O particle, object O verb. Friends, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, please do so at youtube.com/at saraljapani, that is SARALJAPANI, so that you get notifications of all the videos being uploaded regularly. For the videos of all the previous lessons posted so far, do visit the playlist section of this channel and click on this playlist, Japanese Lessons for Beginners. Under this playlist, you will find all the previous 70 lessons and this current lesson 71 as well, all at one place. So let's begin today's lesson. Lesson 71, the O particle, object O verb. This is our familiar table of the Japanese particles. So most of them have been covered in this series, as you can realize from the green color. However, some of these need some deeper study as well. So we will deal with all those again and again as we move ahead in this course. For example, the ni particle, they, and some few others will reappear again and again in due course. So today's particle is the O particle, which is used as an object marker. In general, a sentence in Japanese follows the SOV structure. SOV means subject, object, verb. So the structure of the sentence will be subject or topic, wa, object, which is place in this case, followed by the a particle, which we have seen in the previous lesson, and then the motion verb. So a particle is used when it connects a place with a motion verb. Motion verb in the sense ikimasu, watashi wa Tokyo e ikimasu, Tanaka-san wa watashi no uchi e kimashita, modorimasu, kaerimasu. So ikimasu, kimasu, modorimasu, and kaerimasu, these four are motion verbs. That means all these indicate going or coming kind of action. So watashi wa Tokyo e modorimasu. That means I will return from Tokyo, or I am returning from Tokyo. Watashi wa uchi e kaerimasu. I am returning home. Tanaka-san wa watashi no uchi e kimashita. That means Tanaka-san came to our house. And watashi wa Tokyo e ikimasu. I will go to Tokyo, or I am going to Tokyo. So this is one kind of sentence structure using the a particle. So that was subject wa, object as place, plus a particle plus motion verb. Now in general, for other verbs, not for motion verbs, for other verbs we have to use the o particle instead of the a particle. So now this sentence structure becomes subject or topic, wa, object, which may be any noun other than place, followed by the o particle, and then finally the verb. So that means the object has a direct relation with the verb via the o particle. For example, sakana o tabemasu. Sakana means fish and tabemasu means to eat. So sakana is the object or the noun, and o is the particle and followed by the verb tabemasu. That means this o particle connects the object sakana with the verb tabemasu. So sakana o tabemasu means I eat fish. Gyunyu o nomimasu. Nomimasu is the verb for drinking. So gyunyu is milk. Gyunyu o nomimasu means I drink milk. Shigoto o shimasu. So now shimasu is to do something. To do a task is shimasu is the verb for that. And shigoto means job or work. So shigoto shimasu means I do my job or I am doing the work. So shigoto o shimasu. So in each of these examples, you can see that the object is connected to the verb through the o particle. So this is how this works. Sakana o tabemasu, gyunyu o nomimasu, shigoto o shimasu. So now let's move ahead with some examples. So as you can see in this example, there are lots of kanji symbols involved. So here you can see you will recognize at least some of these, as some of these are very ordinary and we have already covered in this course. For example, the first symbol is watashi. Then this kanji, do you remember? This constitutes the mainichi, which means daily. Mai, this is mai, this is nichi. Nichi means day, and this is every day, that is daily. So watashi wa mainichi. Now, what is this? So if I express it in hiragana, then it becomes gyunyu, which is milk, which we just saw in the previous slide. So watashi wa mainichi gyunyu o nomimasu. So nomimasu means to drink. So this is the kanji for nomi. So for simplicity, I am writing in hiragana as well. So watashi wa mainichi gyunyu o nomimasu. That means I drink milk daily. So in the last slide, we just saw drinking milk, gyunyu o nomimasu. Now we have extended the sentence using the adverb daily, which is mainichi in Japanese. Watashi wa mainichi gyunyu o nomimasu. Similarly, watashi wa mainichi sakana o tabemasu. So very easy to guess. It is I eat fish daily. Watashi wa mainichi. Mainichi means daily or every day. Sakana o tabemasu. Eat fish. So few more examples of food articles and followed by the verb tabemasu. For example, ringo, which is apple. Ringo o tabemasu. So ringo o tabemasu, that means I eat apple. Gohan o tabemasu. Gohan is rice. Gohan o tabemasu, I eat rice. Also, gohan is used to indicate meal as well in general, not as rice, but a meal in general, because rice is the staple food of Japan. So sometimes the word gohan is used interchangeably to represent rice or meal. So in that case, if I want to say I prepare rice or I make rice or I will make rice, then the verb is tsukurimasu. Tsukurimasu means to prepare. So gohan o tsukurimasu means I prepare rice or I will prepare rice. Gohan o tsukurimasu. So that was to prepare. Then we have ocha, which is tea. Ocha o nomimasu. Now this is something to drink. So the verb for drink is nomimasu, or nomu is the root verb. Similarly, juice. Juice o nomimasu. So here you can see in katakana it is written juisu, but the actual pronunciation will be juice. Juice o nomimasu. Tennis. Tennis is the game tennis, the sport tennis. So tennisu o shimasu. Now, as I said earlier, shimasu is to do a task. So it can be used to denote the action of playing as well. So tennisu o shimasu, that means I play tennis. One more example, kaigan. Kaigan means beach. So kaigan o samposhimasu. Samposhimasu means taking a walk. So I take a walk. I am taking a walk on the beach. So that is kaigan o samposhimasu. Kaigan o samposhimasu. So these are all examples to depict how the verb, and you can put watashi wa in front of this, which is watashi is the subject, wa is the subject marker particle, and followed by this object ringo, followed by this particle o, and finally the verb. So it follows the subject object verb, that is SOV structure. Watashi wa ringo o tabemasu. Watashi wa gohan o tsukurimasu. Watashi wa ocha o nomimasu. Tanaka-san wa juice o nomimasu. Watashi wa tenis o shimasu. Watashi wa kaiga no sanpo o shimasu. So now move ahead with another example. So again kanji. So here you can see this is Tanaka, our favorite Tanaka-san. So Tanaka-san is saying something. Mainichi. This is Mainichi. And do you remember this kanji? This kanji represents what? That means none or nani. In this case, it will be nani. So mainichi nani o, and this is tabe. This is the kanji for eating, which is ta, and this is be. Tabe maska. That means this is a question. Tanaka-san is asking a question. Mainichi nani o tabemasu ka? Mainichi nani o tabemasu ka? That means what do you eat daily? Since mainichi is added, so what do you eat daily? Tanaka-san is asking someone, what do you eat daily? Mainichi nani o tabemasu ka? So now we see that he is asking this to Mr. Honda. So Honda-san says, Mainichi gohan o tabemasu. Mainichi gohan o tabemasu. That means I eat rice daily. Mainichi gohan o tabemasu. Mainichi nani o tabemasu ka is the question, and the answer is Mainichi gohan o tabemasu. So similarly, you can practice this using different food articles, just like ichigo is for strawberries. So Mainichi ichigo o tabemasu. Sushi o tabemasu. Mainichi ringo o tabemasu. Watashi wa mainichi mikan o tabemasu. Watashi wa mainichi toriniku o tabemasu. Tanaka-san wa sandoichi wa Tanaka-san wa sandoichi o tabemasu. That means Tanaka-san eats sandwiches. Tanaka-san wa mainichi sandoichi o tabemasu. Watashi wa mainichi udon o tabemasu. Meron o tabemasu. Aisukurimu. This is ice cream. So aisukurimu o tabemasu. So that was to eat. Now few more verbs. One is kakimasu. Kakimasu means to write. So tegami o kakimasu. Tegami means letter. So when we say tegami o kakimasu, that means writing a letter. Or watashi wa tegami o kakimasu. I am writing a letter, or I will write a letter. So as we know that both present and future tense can be represented using the same sentence. So tegami o kakimasu. I am writing a letter. So based on the full context of the previous and the following sentences, we come to know if it is present or it is future tense. But just writing tegami o kakimasu, it will not be clear whether the speaker is talking about the present or the future. Tegami o kakimasu, I will write a letter. Mizu o nomimasu, I will drink water, or I am drinking water. Mizu o nomimasu, mizu o nomimashita, I drank water. The past tense. So in this way, you can replace these objects and the verbs, and connecting them with the O particle, you can practice different examples. Let's move forward. So let's look into little more detail. The first verb is tabemasu, that is to eat. Tabemasu, Honda-san wa gohan o tabemasu. As we saw this earlier as well, Mr. Honda is eating his meal. So here gohan is not rice but the meal. Now let's make it little more informative. So now Honda-san wa kuji ni gohan o tabemasu. You might remember that one of our recent lessons we talked about the ni particle along with the time expressions. So this is the time expression kuji, that is 9 o'clock. So when we use a time expression, it is always followed by ni. So Honda-san wa kuji ni gohan o tabemasu. So it is very easy to understand that Mr. Honda eats his meal at 9 o'clock. So Honda-san wa gohan o tabemasu is simply Mr. Honda is eating his meal, or Mr. Honda eats his meal. But if we add kuji ni, then it gives information about the time of his meal as well. Honda-san wa kuji ni gohan o tabemasu. Mr. Honda eats his meal at 9 o'clock or 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. whatever. Next verb is benkyoushimasu. Benkyoushimasu means to study. So let's see a few examples. Honda-san wa mainichi nihongo o benkyoshimasu. So again, mainichi has appeared, which is nothing but every day or daily. Nihongo, you might already be knowing. Nihongo is nothing but the Japanese language. So this is the kanji for language. So Nihon is Japan and Nihongo is Japanese. So Honda-san wa mainichi Nihongo o benkyoshimasu. So Nihongo is the object here and benkyoshimasu is the verb. So they are connected using this O particle. Honda-san wa mainichi Nihongo o benkyoshimasu. Mr. Honda studies Japanese daily. It's very simple to understand. Now let's make it little complicated. Honda-san wa mainichi 10時に Nihongo o benkyoshimasu. That means at what time Mr. Honda studies Japanese every day? At 10 o'clock. So Mr. Honda studies Japanese daily at 10 o'clock. Honda-san wa mainichi 10時に Nihongo o benkyoshimasu. Similarly, we have taken another verb for today's lesson, which is kaerimasu. Kaerimasu, as we discussed earlier, in fact in the last lesson, that this is used to express the verb of returning home, one's own home. If I return back to my home or to my home country, then I will use kaerimasu. So it is for self and it is for returning back home, not to any other place. So for any other place it will be modorimasu, but returning back to one's own home is kaerimasu. Honda-san wa uchi e kaerimasu. That means Mr. Honda is returning to his home or Mr. Honda is going back home. Honda-san wa uchi e kaerimasu. Uchi means home or house. So now you can see this is not the O particle. Why this is not the O particle? Because kaerimasu is a motion verb and not any other kind of verb. So this is the, you can say this is an exception, that the object and the verb is not connected using the O particle but using the A particle. This is because this is a place and this is a motion verb. To connect between a place and a motion verb, always A particle is used and not the O particle. So Honda-san wa uchi e kaerimasu. Mr. Honda is going back home. Honda-san wa 5時に uchi e kaerimasu. Now, at what time he is returning back home or at what time he returns back home daily is 5時に. That means at 5 o'clock. Mr. Honda returns home at 5 o'clock or Mr. Honda will return back home at 5 o'clock. And you can add mainichi as well. If you add mainichi, then Honda-san wa mainichi 5時に uchi e kaerimasu. So now you can see the time and as well as the information is that he returns home at 5 o'clock every day. Mr. Honda returns home daily at 5 o'clock. Honda-san wa mainichi 5時に uchi e kaerimasu. So just be careful that here we use the A particle and not the O particle. So let's see another example of O particle connecting an object with the verb. So this is mimasu. Mimasu means to see or to view or to watch. So if you have done the kanji lessons of this series, then you might remember that we have done this kanji symbol, which is to see. So mimasu. So this is just a single sound, mimasu. So let's see what's the example presented here. So this is Honda-san. Honda-san wa terebi o mimasu. Terebi is written in katakana because terebi has been derived from television. So television, the first three sounds has been considered to represent television, which becomes terebi in Japanese. Honda-san wa terebi o mimasu. That means Mr. Honda is watching television Mr. Honda is watching TV. So here again, the O particle is back since this is an object which is not a place and this is not a motion verb. So that the generic uh, O particle will play here. Mr. Honda is watching TV. Honda-san wa terebi o mimasu. Honda-san wa mainichi terebi o mimasu. That means Mr. Honda watches TV daily. And Mr. Honda watches television daily from what time to what time? 8 ji kara 9 ji made. So Mr. Honda watches TV daily from 8 to 9. Honda-san wa mainichi 8 ji kara 9 ji made terebi o mimasu. So this is only to explain how you can extend these sentences with more and more information. The first sentence was simple, that Mr. Honda watches TV or is watching TV. Terebi o mimasu. Then mainichi terebi o mimasu. And then mainichi kuji kara, hachiji kara kuji made terebi o mimasu. So this is kara and made. These are also particles which we have discussed earlier. Kara means from, made means to. So mainichi 8 ji kara 9 ji made means daily from 8 to 9. Mr. Honda watches terebi, that is television. Mimas is for watching. So here again you can see there are three particles involved: kara, made, and o. And o is the connector between the object and the verb. So let's see now. Anata wa mainichi nani o shimasu ka? Now, what does that mean? Anata, we know it is used to represent you or yourself. Anata wa mainichi, that means yourself daily. Nan or nani, that means what? O shimas. Shimas means to do. So, yourself daily, what do? That means what do you do every day? And this is the literal meaning of the sentence. Anata wa mainichi nani o shimasu ka? What do you do every day? But the actual meaning or the the intention of this question is, what's your daily routine? What do you do every day, or how do you, what is the schedule, or what is your daily schedule or your daily routine? So that means the answer to this question will be several sentences, and that will span the time from morning till night. So let's see what we have as answers. So it begins at 6 a.m. from the time the person wakes up to whom this question has been asked. So 6 a.m. wake up, how do we say? The verb for wake up is okimasu. That means we can say watashi wa mainichi rokuji ni okimasu. So roku, as you know, it's 6. So daily 6 o'clock. I wake up at 6 o'clock daily. Watashi wa mainichi rokuji ni okimasu. At 7 a.m. he goes to school. So watashi wa mainichi shichiji ni gakko e ikimasu. So now you can see that the a particle has come because this is a motion verb and this is a place. So a particle will be applicable here. Watashi wa mainichi shichiji ni gakko e ikimasu. I go to school daily at 7 a.m. or 7 o'clock. Since it is implied that the school will be in the morning only, so that's why gogo, gozen, all these are not, that they do not convey any additional information. So gozen need not be written because it is already implied that it will be morning only since it is going to the school. Now at what time the person returns back home? It's at 3:30 p.m. Return home from school. Watashi wa mainichi 3 han ni uchi e kaerimasu. So Sanji Han, we have done this. This is 3:30. So if you are not aware of this, then I would suggest you to go back to the lessons when we did chapter or lessons on time, date and time. So there you will find the explanation of all these. So 3:30 p.m. is Sanji Watashi wa mainichi Sanji ni uchi e kaerimasu. Uchi means home and kaerimasu, since he is returning back to his own home, so kaerimasu, not ikimasu, not modorimasu. It will be kaerimasu. Uchiye kaerimasu. 3時半 ni uchiye kaerimasu. Now, next, what does he do after returning back home? He eats his lunch. Although 4 p.m. is late for lunch, but he eats lunch at 4 p.m. after returning back home. Watashi wa mainichi yoji ni hiru gohan o tabemasu. Yoji is the fourth hour. It's not yonji, but it is yoji. When there, these are this is among one of the exceptions where the the word gets modified as an exception. So yon is 4, but when it is attached to ji, it becomes yoji. It's not yonji, it's yoji. Yoji ni hiru gohan. Hiru gohan means lunch. Hiru is the word for midday. That is 12 p.m. So midday meal, hiru gohan or lunch. So midday meal, hiru gohan o tabemasu. That means I eat my lunch every day at 4 p.m. Watashi wa mainichi yoji ni hiru gohan o tabemasu. I eat my lunch at 4 o'clock every day. At 5 p.m. he goes to tuition. So tuition is juku. Watashi wa mainichi goji ni juku e ikimasu. Again, now ikimasu has come because it indicates going, and now the particle has again changed to a instead of o. At 7, he continues with his study at home. Watashi wa mainichi gogo shichiji ni benkyoshimasu. So gogo is added here, which means PM, so 7 p.m. So this is optional. You can write gogo for PM and gozen for AM, as we have discussed this earlier as well. So this is an optional, just to make it more clear that it's 7 p.m. studying is not the morning, it's 7 p.m. It's not 7 a.m. So for that, gogo is useful in this case. Shichiji ni benkyoshimasu. Shimasu is the verb for studying. So if we want to add some more information, so he studies specifically Japanese at 8 p.m. So now how the sentence will change? Watashi wa mainichi gogo 8 ni nihongo o benkyou shimasu. Watashi wa mainichi gogo 8 ni nihongo o benkyou shimasu. So now you can see the ni particle is there for the time, and nihongo is now the object or the noun. So there needs to be an o particle to connect it with the verb benkyoushimasu. Watashi wa mainichi 8 ni nihongo benkyoushimasu. 9:30 p.m. dinner time. Watashi wa mainichi 9 ni bangohan o tabemasu. Bangohan means the evening meal. Bang is basically evening and gohan is again the meal. So bangohan is the evening meal or the dinner. Watashi wa mainichi 9 ni bangohan o tabemasu. 9 means 9:30. And finally, going to sleep at 11:30, which is watashi wa mainichi 11 ni nemasu. Nemasu is the word for sleep we have studied in one of the recent lessons. So in this way, the daily schedule is expressed here. So this is a very good practice. So you can replace all this with your own daily routine, and you can practice similar sentences by writing them down. So uh, you can think of all other activities that you do during the day and just look for the correct verbs, and in this way the correct objects and the verbs, and then you can form your own sentences like this, and you can do a lot of practice which will be very good to master this particular concept of the Japanese basic sentence structure, which is the subject, object, verb, SOV structure, and the usage of ni, a, and o particles. All these three particles will be used. Y is always there, but ni, a, and o, the application of these three particles will be clear if you practice in that manner. So friends, that's all for today. I hope you have understood this lesson. We have studied the O particle today, and in the next lesson, we will study more. So once again, if you are not yet the subscriber of this channel, please subscribe to this channel. Please like the videos and share the videos so that this gets more and more people come to know about this channel, and you also get notification of the new videos being uploaded. So I will see you again soon in the next video of any of the playlists of this channel. So till that time, thank you so much. Arigato gozaimasu. Mata imasho.